This short video demo explains how to use the Digital DPR app, which is part of the BareFLEET system on Orsted boats. The app allows the skipper to record technician transfers, lifts on and off turbines, consumption of fuel and water, and bunkering of fuel and water. It runs on a 10-inch tablet which is connected to the BareFLEET data logger with a direct Wi-Fi connection. So the information that the skipper enters is recorded on the data logger along with all the measurement data from the boat, and that's then relayed to the shore to create daily reports. There are 4 tabs across the top, a tab for starting the shift, a tab for showing the log of all the activities that have happened during a shift, an end tab for recording consumption of fuel and water, and an admin tab for IP address settings, which you shouldn't need to change. So at the start of the shift, when you first go on board, you can select the time zone here that you're operating in. The vessel and the vessel operator should already be set up for the boat. To start a shift, simply press start shift. It will give you the date and the time, and yes to confirm. It will take you to the log page, and the log page simply shows you all of the activities that have been entered into the app since the start of the shift with a time. And you can view the details of any of those by clicking on the row and hitting the view entry button. That gives you more information. So, supposing you're approaching a tower and you want to log a technician transfer or a lift. First of all, as you approach your wind turbine, in the bottom left here, the current tower should indicate which turbine you're approaching. And when you press the plus transfer button to log a transfer, that tower should also show here against the WTG field. If for any reason it doesn't show it, you can type it in. The time should be the current time. You can also log SOV transfers here, and the SOV names are there. You have to select either a WTG ID or a vessel ID, one or the other, otherwise it will not let you enter the transfer. Select the number of packs up, down, the number of lifts up, down, and a comment or an outcome from the drop-down list, which would normally be transfer OK or tied off, but could be any one of these items from the list. When you're happy, hit OK, and there the transfer appears in the log. Let's do another one, this time onto an SOV. Select either Mistral, 2 up, transfer OK, hit OK. Now you can see those 2 log entries. You can also enter selected tasks from a short drop-down list when a boarding of packs is complete, which you would normally do on the quayside at the pontoon, disembarkation of packs complete, and when a transit is complete. And in those cases you can enter a short comment, such as that, hit OK. If you enter an activity and it's a mistake for whatever reason, you hit something wrong and you want to edit it, you select it from the list, you delete the entry, confirm, and then you recreate that entry. So in that case, that was a transit. Now you're able to edit the time here. So if you want to make a change, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours after you made the original entry, you can edit the time here to the time that it actually took place, and you can edit your comment just as before, and depending on whatever time you put here, it will slot it into the relevant sequence of events. So I've put 10:04 here, so it will find 10:04 in the order of events here, and it will slot it into the log. So that's the way that you can correct entries or add entries that maybe you forgot to add at the time. If you bunker any fuel or water, plus bunks, time, select fuel, water, or pumping of waste. Select what tank number, or just leave it as T1 for tank 1, and enter the quantity. And there you go. So at the end of the shift, before you formally end the shift, press the end page. This is where you log fuel consumption for the main engines and for the gensets, and where you record water consumed. It's okay to just add a single number for fuel consumption on the all engines under the port engine, so that might be 450 litres, and water consumed maybe 5 litres, and then you're ready to end the shift. So you can just take one last look at the log, check you're happy with everything on there, check you're happy with the fuel and water consumption, hit end shift. It allows you to modify the time and date in case you forgot to end the shift from the day before. You can't end the shift at any time in the future, and you can't end the shift before the last activity that you recorded on the log. So in this case, just default to the current time, hit yes. And if we go back to the log page, it will show you now everything that was on that log during that shift from the start to the end. So it allows you to write that down on a piece of paper or enter it into any other Excel-based system that you might have before you start up the next shift. And it's just there for convenience. But of course, to start the next shift, you would repeat exactly the same process. Press start shift, confirm. That will clear the log sheet, and you start a new shift from scratch. A couple of other things. The status here should show green connected. That means that the DDPR tablet has got a Wi-Fi connection to the data logger. If it doesn't show green connected, then there could either be a problem, well, there will be a problem with that Wi-Fi connection, in which case you should contact Rhaegar. And that's it.